Okay. Hi, everybody. So, with everything going on in the United States, today is the inauguration and changing of governments, and everybody was on edge, and everybody's, it's time that everyone starts to, start getting along again and start cooperating. But here's the thing. I'm going to show you something in Canada, and it just drives me absolutely nuts. And that's when you just cannot get a single straight answer from a politician, no matter how many times you ask the question. And I have a great example. So right now here in Canada, I mentioned the other day that we are one of the ones way behind a lot of other countries in getting the vaccine out, and we were just told, along with a lot of European countries, that the vaccine is going to be delayed for about a month. You're going to get about 50% of the doses we told you for about a month, because we're fixing our plant in Pfizer. Because we're fixing our plant and upgrading our plant in Europe to be able to do more doses per week, which is good for the company, right? The company needs to put out more people want this. So if they can double their capacity, that's good for the world. We don't have a problem with that. What we had a problem with is them kind of throwing this at us without any advance notice, and then saying that, yeah, it's going to be 50%. And then just yesterday, we found out, oh, by the way, next week, you're getting 0 doses of the vaccine. Now, these doses have to be given out twice in order to be effective. So anyone who was scheduled next week, we may not have doses to hand out. So that can affect, the effectiveness of the vaccines, a lot of things. And just to give you an example how far behind we are, I looked today, and as of the 19th of January, we have Israel, per 100 people in their populace, have vaccinated 32. So 32% of their entire population is already vaccinated. United Emirates is at 30%. UK and the United States, United Kingdom's at 7% already. And United States is almost at 5%. Canada just barely hit 1.7. And now we're not getting it. Our vaccines for the next month is coming in at way less than we were supposed to get. So that number of ours is not going to rise anytime soon over the next 28 days or so. And so a lot of people are saying, hey, what's going on? And we heard that Europe is going to be cut back and Canada is going to be cut back. And first off, we heard it's going to be 50% for us. But then we heard that some people were calling the CEO and everything of Pfizer from the European Union and saying, wait a minute, no, you're not slowing down our vaccine. We want our vaccine, and putting pressure on them. And the next thing we know, we hear that by the 25th of January, which is only 5 more days away, all their levels will be back to normal. So hardly any interruption to them at all. Meanwhile, the same week that all of their volume is going back to normal, Canada's getting 0 of the vaccine. Does it sound like they're giving our vaccine to the other ones because they raised the most fuss? So then we start saying, okay, well, what's going on, Canadian government? Where are you? And what are you doing? And has the Prime Minister made the same call that Israel's made, United Emirates has made, the UK has made, Germany's made, directly to the CEO and said, hey, no, we need some vaccines, we want it in. None of this, we'll catch up and you'll get your doses. It's just not going to come right now because we've had first doses go out that we might not be able to give second doses to. And we have our Procurement Minister right now, and she's being interviewed on CBC Radio Canada, our national radio And she gets asked, has the Prime Minister made the call to the CEO of Pfizer and put any pressure on him? And let's listen to the first response.
Has the Prime Minister himself spoken to the CEO of Pfizer?
I've been in touch with the Prime Minister regularly over the past number of days and weeks, in fact, on this and other files, and indeed spoke with him yesterday on this file, and his team and my team also are in very close communication.
So in other words, she's talked to the Prime Minister about the situation, but the Prime Minister hasn't done anything. He hasn't made any calls himself. He hasn't picked up the phone and called the Pfizer CEO. After buying the most vaccines per person of any country in the world, we haven't even picked up the phone to say, hey, we bought the most of your vaccines. Why are we the ones being put on hold for it? Question mark. Just a simple call, right? He's a Prime Minister. I'm sure at some point during the day, he should be able to pick up a phone for 15 minutes and call somebody. I'm sure that should happen. But let's continue.
Again, very supportive of this approach that we are taking in procurement to make sure that we get doses for every single Canadian, the largest number of doses per capita of any country in the world, the largest vaccine portfolio of any country in the world.
See, it doesn't matter if you have the largest portfolio of vaccines of any country in the world, that you've ordered more vaccines than any country in the world, if they don't actually send you the vaccines. Once again, politician gobbledygook. That's all that is, gobbledygook. I don't care what party they are. I don't give a darn about that. This is gobbledygook doublespeak. And just say, you know what? Pfizer's upgrading their plant. We can't do anything about it. We're not going to get the vaccines. Just say that. Be honest for once in your life as a politician, please. That's all we ever ask. We just say, try your best and be honest. That's all we want from a politician. Simple. But no.
This is a strong approach, Baxi, and it's going to be paying dividends.
Is that a no, Minister? And I'm asking because the President of the European Union spoke directly with Pfizer. The Prime Minister of Israel has said that he's had 17 conversations with the CEO of
Israel, the #1 country in the world that has given out the most vaccines in the world, 17 phone calls. Has our Prime Minister did a single call yet?
Pfizer. Has the Prime Minister directly spoken to the CEO, or has all communication gone through you?
Well, I am leading this file, and I am very happy to do so on behalf of Canadians. It's indeed an honor. Even on the most difficult of days, it is an honor for me to make sure that I can use my skills at the bargaining table to ensure that we are getting vaccines in the arms of Canadians, and we will continue to do that.
So again, that's a no. Is that correct?
Well, I thank you for the question. As I said, the Prime Minister's office and he, in fact, directly with me are working very close.
I thank you for the question, but I'll be damned if I'm going to answer it. Oh my God, can we not get a straight answer from a politician ever? Like, this is probably the #1 issue in the world right now. And they can't just be honest. They can't, like every second day they're going on TV and the Prime Minister's doing speeches and our provincial leaders are doing speeches saying, we're in this together. The end is we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're almost there. We just have to hang on a little bit longer, everybody. And by the way, we're not going to get the vaccines anytime soon. And by the way, we're still under lockdown and we're issuing curfews. And we're going to start telling you can't travel from borders. And we may start locking down the city soon, that you can't leave the city neither. But don't worry, we're near the end, everybody. Oh, we got vaccines. Vaccines are the cure. Well, where are the vaccines? Well, we procured the most vaccines out of every other country in the world. We bought more than everybody else. Oh, where are they? We bought them. We bought them. Don't worry about it. We bought them. We have more than everybody. Just be honest for once. Come on, politicians. Jeez. And like I said, I don't care what party they are. I don't care. Just be honest. Tell us the truth. And when you get asked a question, it's a simple yes or no question. Has the Prime Minister called the CEO of Pfizer about the situation? I've been in touch and no, the Prime Minister hasn't, but we are working together. That's all they had to say. But man, they could not even say the Prime Minister hasn't made the call. It's gobbledygook, 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 and that's why politicians are rated lower than used car salesmen and TV evangelists in trustworthiness. Man, I long for the days of honesty in politicians when they ran to actually help people, and then when they get asked questions, they answered honestly, whether we wanted to hear it or not. If it was bad news, they told us it was bad news. Nowadays, they don't want anything to do with bad news. They'll just spin it and spin it and spin it and spin it. And it's getting very, very frustrating. And so, yeah, if anyone's wondering if the Prime Minister of Canada is now being, we have less vaccines than the European Union, and the European Union is getting theirs on time now, and we're going to be 0 this week and less next week coming in than we were supposed to get. And has he bothered to pick up the phone? The straight answer, they won't tell you, but I will. He hasn't picked up the phone. He hasn't made a call. Israel, 17 calls. United Kingdom, they called. Germany, they called. Everybody called. But don't worry, we bought the most vaccines out of everybody. Well, thanks for spending our money. It'd be nice if we actually had the product. Politicians, right? You gotta love them.